And now it's poked back. Lindholm up to the line to Fraser Minton. Rink wide to Mason Laura. Laura cross ice. Minton a shot turned aside by Thompson.
Twice, 3 times the puck goes to Pastrnak. Twice he delivers it at the net.
Pastrnak gave it back to Zacha. Now a blast and a stop by Thompson. Capitals completing a line change. Jacob Chychrun leading all NHL defensemen in goals. Backhanded it right onto the cage, and Swayman held on. And scooped up by Ethan Frank. Numbers here for Washington. Sorted. Good back check by Minton. Brandon Duhaime shot it wide. And he tries again, and that's blockered down by Swayman. Part of this gritty fourth line for Marco Sturm. Zadorov through some traffic. It bounced off Kastelik in 2021-22, but none of them on the power play. That's the most without a power play goal in the league over that span. Those are our numbers brought to us by the SAP Coaching Insights app.
Penalty killers who are far more aggressive now than they were even 5 years ago to deny entries. Here's another one. Look out.
This might be a breakaway. Elias Lindholm shorthanded. Lindholm, and it's off the back glass. Bruins have just 2 shorties all year from Kastelik and Alex Steeves. Strome dropped it back for Ovechkin. Chychrun passed up the one-timer. Leonard down low, quickly moved to the slot. Wilson put it right into the midsection of Jeremy Swayman off a feed from Dylan Strome.
After they come back down the ice, there's Tom Wilson, who's got 7 pops.
And now Pastrnak, top line out for Marco Sturm. More than midway through the period. Lori put it right on net. A couple of whacks by Elias Lindholm. Relative to last year, they lost Nick Dowd, a very good penalty killer, in a trade to Vegas. McAvoy shot rebound off the stick of Lindholm, off the heel of his stick, and never did get to the net. Now shorthanded. Here's McMichael with Wilson out in front. A great stop by Swayman.
Home had a shorthanded breakaway for Boston. The Capitals respond. Tom Wilson from McMichael. Great stop by Swayman to keep this game scoreless late in the first.
As is Faravari, there the defenseman killing the penalty. Comes right out in front. Pastrnak! And it's cleared. Out for Boston. 35 on the penalty to Protas. 8 minutes in a scoreless first period. Pastrnak lets it go. Rebound free and clear. Rasmus Sandin. Spencer Carberry raving about his improvement year to year. Both ends of the rink. Chychrun. Pad save made by Swayman. LaPierre back to the line. Sandin took his eye off the puck. It hopped over his stick. He reestablishes and snaps one. Blocker down by Swayman. Steeves played it ahead for Hampus Lindholm. Put it on net. Turned aside by Logan Thompson. They're now 0 for 6 against Boston this year. They were 0 for 5 on opening night. And that loss at Capital One Arena. Wilson, Ryan Leonard right down the slot. Turned aside by Swayman. Among the most penalized teams in the league. And you don't kill them very well. Pastrnak, beautiful move. And then he lost it as he took it to the backhand. It came back to him and he put it right on. And Connor will kill some time. Cross ice intended for Wilson. Geeky got in the way. Now some speed for Pavel Zacha. Pastrnak drops it back. Lots of room. McAvoy down low. Zacha scores! Pavel Zacha! A power play goal. And a 1-0 Boston lead.
To play. Now Zacha's got room with Tom Wilson caught up the ice. And Zacha goes all the way to the net. McAvoy finds a little seam. Zacha is stopped once. And then he swats the rebound out of the air past Logan Thompson. What a great play by Pavel Zacha, who's been one of the Bruins' most consistent.
Chychrun. Headmans and after to the corners, Duhaime. Centering pass, but out of the stick of Kastelik. He didn't clear it. Dubois to the back wall. And here comes Geeky. Minton. Down low, Geeky, and a good stop by Thompson, sliding quickly to his right. Waiting for them to complete a change. Dubois went off after a long shift. Sordeth has come on. 12:45 to go, second period. 1-0 Boston. Zacha the power play goal. Chikrin down low. They score on the rebound. What a play by Jacob Chikrin. And Washington has tied the game at 1.
You can change. Alex Steves, number 21, has been on the ice for 1 minute and 22 seconds. He looks like he's lugging a bowling ball around. He can't stay up with the absolute wizardry here of Jacob Chikrin. Chikrin's shot is stopped by Swayman, and there's Protas. He camps out in front of the net and just shovels this.
Geeky, bottom on a one-timer, down low, hoping for a Pasternak tip. McAvoy to Geeky, creeping in. Pasternak from a tough angle, rebound free. Lohrei played it back for Arvidsson. Another who puts one right on net, and then Wilson fell down. That leads to a chance for Middlestat with numbers. Middlestat out in front and swept away by Thompson after Van Riemsdyk slowed the pass. Middlestat from a tough angle. Minton was right at the top of the crease. Both goalies sharp here. They haven't been particularly busy. But the Olympians, Thompson and Swayman, on top of their games again this afternoon. Kastelik's onside. Got a shot on through Chikrin. He scales it in. Boston will get some fresh troops on. 8.5 to go in the second period. Zacha on the power play for Boston. Protas tied it for the Caps. Of course, the Capitals went out of their way yesterday in all of their correspondence with the media to praise John Carlson, deservedly so. Yes. And that's why I felt bad for Spencer Carter. I mean, he was put in a very tough spot. McAvoy, and that's snatched out of midair by Logan Thompson.
And just to your point, is the players looking to, we're not as good today as we are yesterday, no matter what you say. And the management says, yeah, but we got a first and a third.
Lohrei across the door off, a rocket right on net. More than 4 minutes gone by, third period, tied at 1. Very important game for these two. Here's Arvidsson on a breakaway. He scores!
The Caps shoot themselves in the foot here. Protas turns this puck over at the blue line. He's trying to enter on a rather slow rush. Hampus Lindholm reads it, intercepts it, and gets it to Zacha. And then Arvidsson out clean on the break behind the play. Beats Logan Thompson to Thompson's blocker side. Marco Sturm loves.
Tomorrow on TNT and HBO Max, starting at 2, Wild at Avalanche, then the Bruins at the Penguins. Centering pass, Arvidsson again, off a beautiful setup by Middlestat.
This has happened 3 or 4 times today. Peak will shoot this up the boards. It's deflected to Middlestat, and the Caps are now chasing back into their zone. The goal defensively is to be over top of your player. Don't let him between you and your goalie. Arvidsson's behind Wilson.
Nudged into the corner by Van Riemsdyk. Beauvillier had a stick lifted by Lohrei. It comes right out in front of McMichael. And a point-blank save by Swayman. Then the cross-ice pass. Dubois and Lindholm again on the draw. Ovechkin with 30 seconds to go in regulation. That one thrown right toward the net. Couldn't tell if it hit Swayman or Protas. Pasternak with the net empty. Elias Lindholm scores! An empty net goal and a 3-1 Boston lead with 23 seconds left.
Look at the 2 skill plays here. Lindholm gives it to Pasternak. Feather pass, toe drag, and it's an empty netter. It just goes in the book as an empty netter, but both of those plays, Pasternak first, Lindholm second, those are by players with hands. They pay off for the Bruins, and this will be 12.
Unselfish play by Pasternak. He had an opportunity to shoot at that empty net, passed it off instead for his second assist of the day. Boston has won 12 in a row at home, and they pick up a very important 2 points.